Welcome to All Things Social Security. My name is Stephanie Joy of Joy Disability. I am a Social Security disability attorney, and I would like to invite you to watch our daily video tips on the Social Security disability and SSI claims process each day at the new time of noon Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube on this channel. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Q&A live stream. So you are welcome to join that as well. Ask your questions, get there on time, and you'll be one of the first answered. Thanks so much and have a great day. Enjoy the video. Happy Sunday. Today, oh my gosh, what day is it? Is it the 29th? This is flying. Can you believe? I just want to double check. I got to find my calendar. Yeah, I think it's the 29th. Whoa. So we are at the end of June. All the kiddos have been out of school for a month or nearly a month, seems like. Anywho, I hope you've all had a great weekend and had a great last week. This is the Sunday Social Security Roundup for all things Social Security. And as you know, we do this weekly. So let's see what we had. June 23rd, which must have been last Monday. At least my notes are telling me this. We had a little video about whether under SGA work, when you're disabled, is always safe once the trial work period is over in your Social Security disability matter. I know that's kind of a big one there, but there was some wondering by some people, and I just wanted to get it out there. So basically, it would be someone who was disabled collecting Social Security disability insurance benefits, working part-time under SGA. And does that mean because they're working part-time under SGA that they are safe even after their trial work period? And when I say safe, I mean no one's ever going to look at what they're doing. And so we go into whether that's so or not. On Tuesday, the 24th, this was a little ditty about being disabled, working that part-time, self-employed though, not. And the 3 tests you should know about to determine whether it's SGA, because when you're self-employed and we're able to play with the numbers or the activities, and it's not really as objective and cut and dried income information as it would be if we were a W-2 employee of a unconflicted employer. And it's why the SSA takes a slightly different analysis of whether we are SGA. So we go over that a little bit. Very important for self-employed people bringing in a part-time income. Okay, and at Wednesday, we had our weekly live stream Q. Oops, no, we didn't. Yeah, we did. But it's funny because I don't think any other video came out. Sorry, normally it does. I don't know how that happened. Normally I still would have had the 12 noon one, which remember it went from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Curious about how you guys think about that. Is that better? Does it matter at all? Can you still find it? All right, so on the 25th, which would be Wednesday, we had our live stream at 1 o'clock p.m. All things Social Security, question and answers. For those that get there on time, they go first. It goes first in and first out. So we had a bunch of questions there. It was fun. It went like almost 2.5 hours. Sometimes I go a little over if there's still some questions coming in, so I don't leave anybody out. Okay, Friday, oops, no, Thursday is when the replay of the live stream came out. So the live stream is live. It hangs up there for a little while after as I try to get a software trimmed version to take out a lot of the downtime, like when I'm reading a question and just, reading it to you guys or trying to find it in the posted chat. I try to get all those kind of clipped out of it so that the replay doesn't have people on replay having to sit through that. It's probably bad enough when you're sitting through it live, right? Okay. And that was a live stream where I was actually not in the office. I was in a different room because of the heat situation. It was very hot and I needed to really be full-blown air conditioned. Okay, so the replay comes out for Thursday. Friday, fraud law review. This was about a Massachusetts man who for 22 years was stealing his dead father's Social Security benefits, and he also engaged in some COVID relief fund fraud. And the big kicker was that he got a really, in my opinion, light sentence for all this bad behavior. So it's kind of no wonder why people take the risk. The profit is so great and very little wrist spanking going on. It's more like pinky spanking. Then what do we have? Friday the 20th. What's a tip about, and we've talked about this in other videos, but when waiting a bit after you've stopped working due to your disability before jumping on filing that Social Security disability claim or SSI claim may be the best thing for your case if what you're interested in is potentially prevailing on initial or recon versus going all the way to ALJ hearing. And it can actually probably, in my opinion, improve your chances with that as well. So your overall chances of prevailing, I think, may be increased. And this is very case specific. So this doesn't apply to every single case, but quite a number. And so we go into that a little bit. Saturday looked like we had, a little ditty about SSD garnishment and all the various ways, although they are limited, and SSD and Social Security are very protected, generally speaking, from many kinds of garnishment. There are still several that some might be surprised about that can cause it to be garnished. So we go into those a little bit. And that's it, folks. That's all she wrote. It's been a fun week. I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you have a better week next week than last week. And I will hopefully see you at 12 noon on the dailies. I think they're at 12 noon now, and certainly Wednesday at 1 p.m. this Wednesday, July 2nd. Okay, see you then. Bye-bye. It's still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. It's Sunday. Hope you all had a great weekend and a great past week, and have a great week coming up. Let's just go over the Social Security roundup for this week. This would be from the 16th through the 21st? Yeah, wow, of June. Really trekking along here. All right, so on Monday, the 16th, we went over, I could see it, be helpful. Oh, a mistake a lot of people make at ALJ hearings that we just touched on, and kind of think it's not that much to be worried about. So take a listen in case you are worrying about this error you might have made at your hearing. It might be a nothing burger. The 17th, we went over, oh yes, for those that feel the need to tell a potential employer all of their medical problems, sometimes the better part of valor is keeping your private medical issues to yourself unless you have a legal obligation, such as certain federal laws where you cannot have a cardiac issue if you're going to be flying a plane with passengers or something to that effect. I get it a lot where people say, well, nobody's going to hire me when they find out about my GI problem or my this problem or, my aches and pains. Well, don't tell them. If you're applying for the job, it's because you think you might be able to do it. Go in there with the best attitude and maybe you get the job. Worst case scenario is you can't do the job. You either resign or they terminate you. You made some money and that's what you were doing it for anyway, right? So the idea that you have to tell your medical private issues to everyone and their mother, including prospective employers, is not really so. There is a reason why they have medical privacy laws. So you don't have to give it up if you don't want to for most of those jobs again. Okay, so the 18th, this was about, yes, one of my big pet peeves, and I think it's a big problem when employees of the SSA directly contact a claimant who is represented and has an official appointed representative, be it an attorney or a non-attorney rep. It's contrary to the SSA rules. We see it all the time, and I really just wish they would stop. We do, in fact, advise them when they are violating that rule, and please don't. On the 19th, that would be Thursday. Yes, it was a replay of, which we're trying to do every week, of the live Q&A live stream session that occurs Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. It takes a long time for some of these softwares to, I don't know what's the word, not to download the replay, but we try to run it through a piece of software that will eliminate any of the long gaps, silences. I could be reading a question, looking to see the second part of a question that one of you guys posted, to get it all connected. And nobody needs to hear that on the replay. So we try to get those all snipped out of there. And then YouTube takes a long time to download the video because they're like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. So there's that issue too. So trying to get them out Thursday mornings, but sometimes it's probably going to be Saturday. The 20th was Friday, of course, and we have the Friday fraud law review. This one was about a Brazilian retaliation murder of 11 youth who later got USA asylum based on perjury. So the article is funny because it's about the perjury, but it's like, how about the murder of the 11 kids in Brazil? And we let them into our country. Go figure. Okay, June 21st. So that would be Saturday, yesterday. This was a poll from one of our Q&As. A wife was asking if she could use her husband's work record for her Social Security disability. And we go into whether that's allowed or not, and when or when not. And that was it for the week, guys. Hope you had a good one, and I hope to see you next week. Just so you know, one of these days, the 9 o'clock shares that come out each morning are now moving to noon Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 9 o'clock California time, 10, 11, 12 for Eastern. So I hope that works out okay for everybody. I thought it might work out a little bit better, a little bit easier here. So that's why I did that. In any event, have a great week, guys. And I hope to see you also on Wednesday at our next live Q&A session right on YouTube. All things Social Security. Come and ask your questions. Try to get there on time so that you can be one of the first ones to ask your questions because they do go first in, first out. All right. I hope to see you there.